Sometimes the most dangerous things in the body don't announce themselves with pain. They arrive quietly, like a whisper, like a slow fading light. You wake up feeling a little foggy. Your legs feel weaker, even after a night's rest. Your skin feels dry. Your lips crack more easily. You tell yourself, I'm just getting older. But what if that's not the full story? What if the real reason behind your fatigue, your forgetfulness, your aching joints is something as simple and as overlooked as water? Dehydration doesn't always feel like thirst, especially after 70. As we age, the body's natural sense of thirst becomes weaker. The kidneys don't conserve water as well. The cells lose their elasticity. And so, you might be losing water without knowing it. Every single day. It doesn't take a drought to drain the body. Just a little bit of fluid missing over time, and your brain, your muscles, even your heart can start to struggle. But here's the tricky part. The signs of dehydration in older adults aren't always obvious. They're often dismissed as normal aging, when in reality, they are your body's early calls for help. In this video, we'll gently walk through the 6 silent signs that your body might be dehydrated, even if you don't feel thirsty. And we'll also explore how to restore balance with small, smart changes that protect your mind, your mobility, and your well-being. Because aging well doesn't start with medicine. It starts with listening to what the body softly tries to say. You might think, if I were truly dehydrated, I'd feel thirsty. But that's the tricky part, because after 70, the body doesn't send signals the way it used to. It grows quieter, subtler, and sometimes dangerously silent. It doesn't happen overnight, but one day you stop noticing the thirst. Or rather, the thirst stops visiting you. As we age, the brain's ability to sense dehydration gradually fades. The nerves that once fired off a clear message, drink water now, they start whispering instead of shouting. And that quiet whisper often gets drowned out by routine, by fatigue, or simply forgotten. But that's just one part of the story. The kidneys, too, change. Once efficient in preserving the right balance of fluids, they begin to let more water go, even when the body needs it most. It's like trying to hold water in a leaking bucket. Slowly, drop by drop, more escapes than stays. And then, there are the medications. So many older adults take drugs that increase urination, for blood pressure, for the heart, for swelling. Each pill quietly pushing out water without asking whether the body can spare it. But not all water loss comes from the body. Some of it comes from decisions made out of habit or worry. Avoiding water in the evening because getting up at night is exhausting. Drinking less because the appetite has changed, or because sipping water just doesn't cross the mind anymore. And that's how it begins. Not with a crisis, but with small choices made every day, under the radar. You don't faint, you don't collapse, you just feel slower, more tired, a little foggy. You think it's just age. But what if it's not? What if your body isn't failing? It's simply thirsty. Tiredness, confusion, aching joints. They might not be aging catching up with you. They might be gentle signs that your cells are calling out for water. Not in a scream, but in a whisper. And once you understand that, you begin to notice the patterns. You begin to listen differently. You open the refrigerator, stand there for a moment, and suddenly wonder what you were looking for. Or maybe you're telling a story, one you've told a dozen times, but a name, a word, a detail escapes you. You pause, you smile, you cover it up with a quiet laugh. It's just age, you whisper to yourself. But is it? What most people don't realize, even many doctors, is that the brain is one of the first organs to suffer when you're even slightly dehydrated. Not days without water. Just a mild everyday lack. Your brain, after all, is mostly water. And without enough of it, everything slows down. Messages take longer to travel, thoughts feel less clear, memories become harder to hold on to. And here's the hard truth. What feels like forgetfulness might not be aging, it might be dehydration showing up in disguise. But because it comes on so gently, you don't notice it for what it is. You just feel off, like you're walking through fog, mentally reaching for things that used to be right there. Worse still, it's easy to accept this change, to believe that your mind is just wearing out. But no, it might simply be asking for water, because when your brain cells are properly hydrated, they fire faster, connect better, store stronger. You feel sharper, more present, more yourself. And here's something beautiful. Many older adults notice real improvement in focus and clarity just by drinking more water consistently, especially in the morning. Sometimes healing the mind doesn't begin with puzzles or pills. It begins with a habit as gentle as sipping a glass of water before your coffee, before your day begins. So the next time you forget why you entered the room, pause. Don't panic. Don't label yourself. Just ask, have I been drinking enough water today? That question alone can be an act of kindness toward your brain. But memory isn't the only place dehydration hides. There's another sign, one you feel in your entire body, a weariness that doesn't go away with rest. You wake up and you're already tired. You sit down for just a moment, and somehow the day slips past you in silence. You tell yourself, it's just normal for my age. And maybe that's what everyone around you says too. But deep inside, you wonder if it's supposed to feel this heavy, this drained, this dull, as if your energy has been slowly leaking away without anyone noticing. Here's something no one tells you loud enough. Even mild dehydration can cause persistent fatigue in older adults. Your body is constantly working, circulating blood, digesting food, moving muscles, repairing, restoring, breathing, thinking. And for every one of those functions, it needs water. Water is what helps deliver oxygen through your bloodstream. It's what allows nutrients to reach your cells. Without enough of it, your heart works harder, your circulation slows, your muscles tighten and tire more easily. And yet, when you feel exhausted for no clear reason, you rarely stop to ask, could I simply be underhydrated? It's a fatigue that doesn't lift with a nap. It doesn't go away with rest alone, because the body isn't tired from overuse. It's tired from a lack of support, from running on empty. And it doesn't matter how healthy your meals are or how many vitamins you take, if your cells are dry, they can't absorb the nourishment you give them. That's why some elders, after simply increasing their daily water intake, feel a shift they can't quite explain. They feel more awake, not just in body, but in spirit. It's not magic. It's hydration. Pure and simple. So the next time the day feels heavier than it should, when your body feels like it's dragging through invisible sand, ask yourself gently, when was the last time I truly hydrated? Because the difference between barely coping and gently thriving might just be one habit, one glass of water at a time. And while fatigue and memory are often blamed on age, there are more hidden signs still, whispers your body sends through your skin, your digestion, even your mood. Sometimes your body speaks through silence. Other times, it speaks through your skin. You look at your hands, the same hands that have held babies, washed dishes, signed letters, held on to love and let go of grief. Now they feel thinner, drier, more fragile. You may think it's just aging skin, and yes, part of that is true, but not all of it, because skin is often one of the first places where dehydration quietly shows up. It starts subtly. The skin on your arms begins to lose elasticity. It takes longer to bounce back after you pinch it. There's a roughness that doesn't go away with lotion, a tightness after washing your hands, a dullness in the mirror that wasn't there before. But here's what many don't know. Your skin needs water from the inside, not just creams from the outside. When you're hydrated, your skin cells are plump, resilient, elastic. When you're not, they become fragile. And they whisper that fragility through cracks, dryness, and fine lines. But the skin doesn't complain loudly. It just adapts and waits. And you go on, layering creams, wondering what's missing, not realizing the most powerful moisturizer might be sitting in your kitchen tap. And it's not vanity. It's not about looking younger, it's about comfort. Because dry skin can itch, crack, and even open the door to infection in older age. It can affect how you feel in your clothes, how you sleep at night, how you move, and maybe even more importantly, it can signal what's happening deeper inside, that your cells are running dry. So the next time you feel your skin tighten when the air gets dry, or when the soap leaves your hands parched, pause. Not to apply more cream, but to drink, to replenish, to care from the inside out. Because hydrated skin isn't just softer, it's stronger, it heals faster, it protects you better, and it reflects something deeper, that you're paying attention, that you still care for your body with the same tenderness it once gave you. But skin is only one part of the story. There's a deeper, more hidden sign that even fewer people notice, a change in mood, a quiet sadness that may have nothing to do with life's events and everything to do with what's happening inside your cells. There are days when the world just feels heavier. Nothing has changed, and yet your heart feels low. You move slower. You find yourself sighing more often, even when there's nothing to sigh about. You might tell yourself it's loneliness, or that the past is catching up with you. And sometimes, yes, emotions from memory do drift in uninvited. But sometimes, it's not just memory, it's chemistry. Because dehydration doesn't only affect the body, it touches the brain's emotional balance too. You see, your brain isn't just a center of logic, it's also where your emotions rise, fall, and stabilize. And to function well, it needs fluid. Water fuels the very electrical signals that help regulate your mood. Without it, your brain struggles to maintain levels of serotonin, the very chemical that helps you feel calm, balanced, and hopeful. Even slight dehydration can cause irritability, a low mood, even mild anxiety. But here's the tricky part. You don't associate sadness with thirst. You don't think to reach for a glass of water when your chest feels heavy. Instead, you sit in silence, wondering if this is just part of growing older. But maybe it's your body asking for kindness, for care, for water. And isn't that powerful? That something as gentle as hydration might lift the edges of a fog you've carried for too long? Some elders say, "I didn't know I could feel this light again," after simply building the habit of drinking water throughout the day. It doesn't solve everything, but it's a beginning, a gentle act of self-respect, a message to your body that says, "I'm still listening." So next time your spirit feels low, before you look for answers in the past, check in with the present. Ask yourself, have I cared for my body's most basic need today? Because when the body is nourished, the heart follows. And now, one final sign, one that's more serious, more urgent, but often dismissed until it becomes dangerous. Let's take a closer look at the physical consequences of dehydration that go beyond tiredness or dry skin, the kind that leads to dizziness and falls. You rise from your chair, take a few steps, and suddenly feel the world tilt beneath you. It's brief, a moment, but it scares you. Maybe you laugh it off, blame it on stiff joints, on getting up too quickly, and sometimes, yes, that's all it is. But what if that dizziness was your body's final warning? Because when your body is low on fluids, your blood pressure can drop, especially when you stand. Your brain receives less oxygen for a few seconds, and that's enough to throw off your balance. And in older adults, that brief moment can mean everything. One missed step, one uneven floorboard, and suddenly you're in a hospital bed, recovering from a fall that could have been prevented. What's heartbreaking is that many falls in elders are not caused by frailty, but by dehydration. It's not just about thirst, it's about blood flow, joint lubrication, muscle function, reflexes, all of which suffer when your body is even slightly dry. And the irony? Older adults often drink less water to avoid going to the bathroom too often, not realizing that by avoiding the inconvenience, they may be risking something far more serious. But there's hope in this, because the solution doesn't require expensive treatments or complicated routines. It starts with a single simple choice: to drink, to hydrate early, to hydrate gently, to care. A glass of water in the morning, one with each meal, one in the quiet afternoon light. Not just to quench thirst, but to protect the mind, the heart, the balance beneath your feet. Your body is still speaking to you, even now, even gently, and every sip you take is a way of saying back, I hear you, I'm here. And if this message resonated with you, if you saw yourself or someone you love in any of these signs, don't let it end here. Share this video with someone who might need it. Leave a comment and tell us, when was the last time you felt truly energized just from caring for your body simply? And don't forget, subscribe to Golden Pathways for more insights, encouragement, and gentle reminders that your health, your clarity, your peace still matter deeply. You're not too old to feel well. You're not too late to start again. Sometimes, it all begins with a glass of water.